Tape is
All
on,
right.
so whatever you want to do.
Okay.
But keep your clothes on, please.
All right.
Deal.
There we go. We'll just get naked with our songs. That's all.
right.
Yeah.
Just bearing it all here for you.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, well, here we are. I think we're on episode 5. I always forget the numbers, and it's not a very interesting conversation. I mean, my young friend Kaya just tells me just to get to it, you know. Like, but here we are with Joel Callahan. It's really so
Great
sweet to have you here.
Nice
and
to be here, Brian. Thank you.
yeah, really. And I just, from the small amount of time I've had with you and hearing your songs, I'm just so curious, and I always enjoy so much what you share.
Thank you. Yeah.
So it's such a treat to be able to even play a little bit
It's
together.
great. Yeah, I like it. I love it. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. It's all about the music. I always say it's all about the music.
Yeah, well, and it's the little that I know about you, man, you really serve that so beautifully. I really appreciate the interview we did together on your show.
Yeah, that was great. I
and
liked it.
really noticing all these great things you've become involved with pretty swiftly now that I know you only moved here about 4 years ago.
Yeah,
So.
I know. I kind of jumped into the deep end, you know?
Yeah. Well, I feel privileged to know you and to be making friends, and we're looking forward to sharing a couple songs here.
Yeah. So this song is a song I wrote quite a while ago, but I kind of forgot about it. You know how that happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I went, oh man, I got to revisit that song. And I was at a jam somewhere, and I said, oh, I got to do this song. And then I realized that I couldn't remember this song, and it's one that I really quite like. So and it was sort of around my mother when she was passing away, and she had this look of fear in her eyes, and it was like in a hospital room. It was quite intimate, and it was, you could tell that it was an important time. But at the same time as that was happening, Sarah McLachlan was having a problem with her. With one of her co-writers, and about the rights and the legality of the rights to some songs and some music, and evidently somebody was caught lying under oath, and I went, under oath? Yeah, I just want to live my life under oath. And so that's after I wrote that song, I made a commitment to trying to do that. So the song is called Under Oath.
It is, huh? Okay.
Yeah, so that's what that was all about anyway. So,
yeah. So should we just get right into the song?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Awesome.
1, 2, 3. As I walked into the room, there was a stillness in the air, an electrifying gloom, tingling in each and every hair. As those eyes gazed up at me, there was a fear that I loathed, till my being could see another living on the road. Ain't no complications here, just a very simple truth. Ain't no reason for your fear when you start living on the road. as I gaze into the past. So many facts that I ignore, yet I vow this search will last. As a truth I implore, many complications here, yet a very simple truth. Ain't no reason for your fear when you start living on the road. Many complications here, yet a very simple truth. Ain't no reason for your fear when you start living on the road. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great, man. I
Nice
love
work,
it.
Nice playing.
Yeah, if we
was
play
very
that a few
cool.
more times,
I
I'd be
know,
singing
we'll
with
leave
you,
like
man.
it.
I love that song. Yeah, that's great, man. Oh, I love that sentiment and everything. Yeah, it's really
Search for truth, right? It's kind of, I think we're all sort of driven by it.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the way you bring this lightness to what you do. You know, it's not light, but there's a lightness.
Yes.
Which is different, you know?
Yeah.
It's like there's serious, but let's not get heavy, I guess. That's kind of the feeling I get when I listen to your...
Yes, you're on it. Yeah, you're like, that's actually, I remember like for a long while, like that came from sort of the sentiment like that in your song, like where it's just like I was absolutely devote myself to truth, right? You know, and like kind of got into, you know, the philosophy path and that kind of thing. And but the more I sort of stayed with it, it just became, I guess there was a sort of a sense that truth is like a choice. Like there's an aspect of what becomes true is a choice, and it's a creative process. Furthermore, it kind of blew my mind.
It's kind of a moving target, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like there's that relationship between belief and truth, right? Like,
Yes.
Yeah. Like, are they the same, or you know?
Yeah, and like the manifestation, like the choice of, and even it's like do you want to play the song in C, or do you want to play it in like D sharp?
Yeah.
You know, it's just there's a bit
choices,
of like there's so much going on. Like sometimes people ask me like, "Oh, you went to that festival? Like, how was it, or how is it?" And it's like, well, there's so many ways that it could be, because I'm walking along this path, and over here there's people getting into fights and getting all rowdy and alcohol, and over there there's like people just like having a beautiful 4-hour conversation, and then like, you know, kids around, and it's like life's kind of like that.
Yeah, where do I want to be? That's an easy one.
Yeah. So yeah, like more recently, I would say probably like in the last 5 years, a little more, I've just been making a bit of like shifting the focus of that oath into playfulness. Like,
that's a nice word.
Yeah. And I guess to some degree, because it was an experience of, it has been an experience of truth, that there's some bigger aspect of, it's just a great play going on. So that's sort of now the process of what I try to remind myself of by singing songs. You know? So yeah, there's
Well, if only it were that easy.
which leads us to the next song.
Segues again.
Yeah, right.
It's just a part of
We
life.
practiced just a little bit. Like, I guess we should tune up. I wonder if
we
it's,
should. We should.
maybe this
We
is like a
tune
cut
because we
time or
care.
something, or Should we let it
You
roll?
guys are having an amazing conversations.
Yes.
And we can always edit it out, but we
Sure.
can put it back in if you accidentally say something intelligent.
Well, if you're waiting for intelligence, we're going to be here a long time.
We
I don't know
should
how to
have a
tell you
mic for you. That was a good line, man.
that. Yeah.
I haven't said anything about your tiara.
Oh, yes.
Leave it too late now.
Yeah, I know. People tell me I should actually put them in front of my eyes, but I go, like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
And with the background, it's just barely there. It's kind of a funny fluke. It's fine.
It's the teacher look. Like,
It's nice, it's a tiara.
Did you? Is that one thing you did? Were you teaching?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
I taught at a college, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
in Belleville.
Yeah.
Oh, what were you teaching?
Loyalist College, journalism.
Oh, really?
Yeah, photography,
cool.
and journalism. Yeah.
Interesting. Huh? Interesting. Huh?
Yep.
So you Belleville College is that?
Loyalist College. It's one of there's 24 colleges in Ontario, and it would be not unlike Sask Poly here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a song called "If It Were Only That Easy," as we alluded to earlier.
Indeed.
And it was pretty much written as a kind of a comedy view of potential arguments, I guess, and so there's kind of a comedy aspect of it, but it's also like there's a sort of a swing of comedy and compassion, because it's also like it's actually quite difficult to be simple and stay out of trouble and stuff. but it's also easy at the same time. So
Yep.
the song is kind of just kind of having fun.
Paradoxical. Yeah.
With that
cool.
phenomenon. So, I guess we'll get
Let's
get
do it.
right to it
Let's
too.
do it.
We're being quite efficient,
Aren't we?
Yeah. I
Aren't
mean,
we?
well, I'm sure we're two guys, lots of stories to tell and stuff, but we're getting just right to the songs here. Aren't in the audience just gonna be so pleased with us. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I was walking in the park. I was alone and it was dark. And no matter who you are, you just may start to wonder in your heart. Awake and dreaming in the night, in the midst of lovely sights. Some of them we can all share, and some of them we only bear to care some other way. Am I a this, are we a that? Are you a pretty kitty cat? Are you alone, somewhat like me, in this mystery of dynamic unity? Just send a little bit of light, made it through to the horizon. An otherwise delightful evening came into being a beautiful day. If it were only that easy, you'd be here and I'd be there, without a single sense of tearing apart the fabric that we are. If it were only that easy,
If it were only that easy.
life could be so lemon squeezy, with just the right amount of sweet and salty dog to meet the kindness that we are. Peace and joy are all around, love and songbirds singing sound, on a playground so profound. All our folks sure could be so proud. Looking up into the sky, another question comes to mind. Was what we dreamed a possibility for us to live so skillful and so free? You be you and I'll be me, with all our spirituality, politics and art and the science of the heart as coexisting comedy. If it were only that easy, you'd be here and I'd be there, without a single sense of tearing apart the fabric that we are. If it were only that easy, life could be so lemon squeezy, with just the right amount of sweet and salty dog to meet the kindness that we are. Throughout my day, like a child in a play, thinking everyone is free to see like you and me, evolve in harmony, noticing the different choices and the many different voices, not the slightest bit disturbed, for I live by my word and adaptability. If it were only that easy, life could be so lemon squeezy, with just the right amount of sweet and salty dog to meet the kindness that we are. If it were only that easy, you'd be here and I'd be there, without a single sense of tearing apart the fabric that we are. One more time. If it were only that easy, life could be so lemon squeezy, with just the right amount of sweet and salty dog to meet the kindness that we are. Yeah, with just the right amount of sweet and salty dog to meet the kindness that we are. Yeah, I think we pulled it off.
They can let us know.
It's supposed to be real, you know.
That's right. Well, that was real.
That was real, man.
Oh, great song.
Thanks.
That song.
That was fun. I just realized there's an oath at the end, you know, like it's a reference to an oath.
So,
right?
Yeah,
I just realized that. Yeah.
What?
Not the slightest bit disturbed, for I live by my word, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. How amazing is that?
That's
right?
funny.
You never know in the confluence of energy, right?
Yeah. I was thinking I was actually wondering which song, you know, like sometimes I try to sort of choose the theme, but I kind of chose it before I really knew the theme of yours, and I was wondering how that would line up.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a nice contrast of styles, but also a kind of a unifying underpinning too, right? So, yeah, that was fun.
That really was, yeah.
Thanks, man.
I think we should do this again.
I think we should do this
right?
like regularly.
Yeah, really, that would be great. Yeah, why not? And we'll have a whole album by the end of this.
Well, that's it.
The Joe and Brian album.
There you go.
Why not? We'll see. Well, should we talk to the audience? Tell us what you think in the comments.
Please send us your feedback. Yes.
And please do have a look at Joe has a really wonderful YouTube page. Is it just Joe? It's Joe Callahan.
Joe Callahan. I think if you do YouTube and Joe Callahan, you'll find it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then a show here in Saskatoon on CFCR.
CFCR Mondays from 10 till 12 on 90.5. So Many Roads, it's called. And oftentimes I bring guests in for interviews for a walk a mile.
Yes.
And like Brian, which I love doing that. So.
And the whole, and you can listen to the entire 20-ish minute interviews on your YouTube
that's
channel.
Right, on YouTube.
And they're just great, really great interviews.
Thanks,
you just have a wonderful presence with your music and just with your chit chat.
And you, buddy.
Yeah, right. Well, looking forward to continuing more. Anything else we should mention? You're involved with also Studio 12.
Studio 12, we just finished this season of Saskatchewan Homegrown, and we plan to start again in September, and we plan to do 10 shows again next year, one a month, kind of the last Sundays of the month. So we'll publicize them, I guess, when we lock in who our guests are. And I'd like you to be one of those guests for sure.
Oh, no, I'd love that. Yeah,
for sure.
Actually, and we'll probably start up. We've been doing a final Friday of every month event that will start up in the autumn again.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd love to have you as a feature.
I'd love
that.
to. That'd be great.
That would
I'd
be
love
really
to do
great.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Live music, man. There's nothing like it.
Oh, it's true, man. It's really special. Yeah.
Thanks,
well,
Brian.
thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Appreciate being
And
here. It was great.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming, and we'll look forward to meeting again, I imagine.
I know for sure.
Yeah, okay. And thank you, Arthur, on the sound.
Thanks, Arthur. Sound and lights.
And comedy.
Comic relief.